an hour of this. This is Oregon winter driving. I mean, thank God for the snowplows, but I've been crawling at 25 miles an hour for the past hour. Not getting very far. 25 miles to be precise. I knew when I was still in midair that jump was not going to end well. When I hit, the cracking sound and the shooting pain traveled from my leg all the way through my spine. By the time I came to a stop, I was relatively sure that my leg was broken. So what led up to the fall? As usual, there was a cascading series of events. To start, I did not get a good night's sleep. The heater would not stay lit, and the temperature outside was 7 degrees Fahrenheit. I bundled up in my sleeping bag and was finally able to get some consecutive sleep. On top of it all, I had a crazily vivid dream where my sleeping bag was full of ticks, and I woke up having received probably less than 4 hours of actual sleep. The next morning, I rushed out to the slopes to find the mountain covered in fog. I didn't even bring the video gear because I didn't think that there was any point to shooting that stuff. But after I had geared up and made my way down the mountain a few times, the clouds suddenly parted, the sun came out, and it became the most beautiful day outside. I decided to go all the way back to the truck and get the video gear that I had left behind. But after about 45 minutes of digging around and pulling everything out of the truck and resorting everything, I could not find the GoPro camera anywhere. In a final act of desperation, I decided to drive back to the campsite. To my amazement, in a 2-foot deep bank of snow, I found the damned GoPro. It was still there, and after being a little bit cleaned off, it worked just fine. You know, I spent all this time digging in the truck for the camera, and I wanted to get some skiing done, and I wasn't really feeling hungry, but I hadn't really eaten that day, and, you know, I was feeling a little lethargic now, looking back on it. I really wasn't myself. I probably should have eaten something. I just didn't want to take the break, is really what it was. So, decided to kind of show you guys the mountain, and I was doing a little bit of skiing, a little bit of jumping, and then I was like, you know, it'd be really cool if I do this kind of you know, jump and land backwards thing, which I've never really perfectly done. I'd like halfway done it before, and I decided to attempt it. And jumped up, didn't get the full rotation done, came back down sideways, crash, fall, snap, not good. Sharp pain in my leg. Was fully expecting to look at my leg and just see it at a funny angle. I mean, I thought I broke it. I thought it was done. Wiggled my toes inside the boot. That was there. Kind of looked things over. I was in pain, but it didn't feel like it was broken. I eventually got up and stood on it. Skied back down the mountain kind of on one leg. I realized that I was about as far away from my truck as I possibly could have been. I was completely on the other side. Finally got back down, hobbled my way to the truck, got all of my gear back to the truck, you know, let Hunter out. Hunter is just going nuts because, you know, he's been cooped up in the truck all day long, and he just, you know, wants to run around, and I don't want him to get hit by a car, and changing all my clothes, my socks, my leg is throbbing, you know, I need to get some food in me, because like at this point I'm feeling lightheaded already. Got all my stuff together, left, grabbed a little bit of food, and decided, you know, I'm gonna look at this stove while there's still some daylight, you know, at my heater, and see if I can get that working. Got the GoPro in there, filming how I'm cleaning this thing out, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, Where are my skis? Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Oh, I didn't put my skis back in the truck and I rolled them over. Dude, I'm losing my mind. You have got to be kidding me. Oh my god. And I come to think that, you know, I put them down behind the truck, but I didn't put them in. And so I must have ran them over on my way out and just didn't see it. So, you know, throw everything back together, hop in the truck, run over to my parking spot. I did run them over. Pretty much broke one of my ski poles. Somehow miraculously didn't run the skis over. I'm not sure how that even happened, but I just couldn't believe myself. And it's pretty sad. It's like this day is going from bad to worse. So I'm like, you know, I gotta get a little bit of protein in me here. Go to the restaurant, order, you know, this is my favorite place, order some nice beef ribs, and I'm chowing down on them, and life is good, and I've had a couple of beers, and all of a sudden I go, shit. Chipped one of my front teeth, biting down on the rib. Don't know how much can go wrong, but there it is. You can't really see. It's a little sharp. Spent the whole day with my ankle throbbing. Definitely knew I wasn't gonna be able to ski the next day. So just hasn't been a very good time. But just like in Texas Hold'em, sometimes you just gotta play with the hand you've been dealt. And in the end, any two cards can win. I took out a couple of nights at the Tellurian Lodge Resort right at the base of the Cold Springs Run. It's amazing how much a warm bath and a hot shower will do to your morale. I hobbled around the local coffee shops while mooching off of their internet, all the while icing my ankle, getting a little work done, and in between, cranking out the first 2 episodes of this series. A dear friend of mine tried to cheer me up by encouraging the 206er to do reviews on galleries, stores, and restaurants if I wasn't able to ski for the rest of the trip. By the end of the 3rd day, I was starting to get a little bit of cabin fever, and decided to see what it would feel like to get my foot into a boot. I recorded footage for a Randonnée backcountry episode that I've been wanting to do, and in the meantime took Hunter for a much-needed hike. Powered up by ibuprofen and with my foot wrapped tightly with an ace bandage, getting into the boot was absolutely excruciating. Alright, we're in. But surprisingly enough, once it was in there, it felt pretty good. So, no more sinking, knee deep in snow. So. I wandered around for about an hour, and eventually, as the sun began to set, I took off the skins and skied back down to my truck. Come on, Hunter. With the sun going down, I decided it was a good time to go to the local hot spring. The road going there was plowed but snow-covered, and driving my 8,000-pound beast like a thoroughbred rally car was definitely not the smartest thing I could have done, but certainly added to my high spirits. The Frenchman's Hot Spring is absolutely phenomenal. Coming out in the middle of an ice-cold river, it provides for a very unique experience, and is popular with tourists and locals alike. A few years ago, while walking my way down to the spring, I took a little bit of a tumble. So every time I go there now, I bring my own trench shovel and make some steps for everyone. Water bubbling up right there is hot enough to boil, so it's 200 degrees right there. And that's an ice-cold river. And over there you can see there's another pool with more water if you want to run across. And this pool cascades down, so there's one more level and one more level. And you pretty much control the temperature by moving one of those rocks up and down, which opens up the flow for cold water to come in. That's pretty much it. Sitting in the hot spring that evening, I had decided that gallery reviews were not really my thing. Sometimes you gotta play with the hand you're dealt. Grind your teeth, put your foot in the boot, and just go skiing. Guys, if you're enjoying my videos, please share them on your Facebook timeline so that your friends can see them too. I'd really like to see more subscribers and more people liking these videos.